I started off by thanking all of you for being here. Look, CoreWeave's a specialized cloud computing company, right? We are an AI hyperscale. And what we mean by that is that we have built a company that delivers the best solutions for the way that the cloud is going to be consumed as we enter this period of explosion in the growth of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is constrained by its ability to secure the physical infrastructure, the accelerators to be able to train, to be able to serve through inference models. And our company has been built specifically and exclusively to be able to serve the type of massive scale parallelized computing requirements that the AI models require in order to both be trained and to deliver their value to consumers.
And as part of that push and that investment, you're looking at the UK. You've set up your European headquarters here in London. You're investing in data centers in the UK. Why choose London? Why choose the UK?
Yeah, so company was founded in the US and grew in the US. And as we look towards the future, as we look towards our ability to serve compute across the world, we needed to come up with a strategy for how to enter the European arena and how to go ahead and build our company in a similar way with a same quality infrastructure that we build in the US that has gotten so much traction. And when we were looking at the different jurisdictions, there are a lot of things that you've got to take into account. Probably the most important is being able to access the talent, the human resources to be able to build a company so that you can deliver the product in a way that kind of fits hand in glove with what we need to be able to deliver, what our clients need to be able to consume. So the single biggest driver was to get access to the talent, the human resources that we require to build a company.
If you had unconstrained access to talent, and you had to choose between unconstrained access to talent or unconstrained access to GPUs, NVIDIA GPUs, which would you choose?
So I would argue it doesn't matter, right? Unless you have the talent to be able to build a company, unless you have the talent to be able to create the software stack, unless you have the talent to be able to run every aspect of a business, having a whole lot of really valuable GPUs sitting in a warehouse doesn't help you, right? And we really look at this in a very holistic way. We look at it from the perspective of, the GPUs integrated into a server built in a data center that is being delivered to our clients through our software layer that is so extraordinary and effective for this use case is what makes us successful. And so if you're only going to give me one, I'm not going to take either because that's a bad way to go.
Okay, fair enough. That sounds like a wise answer. There's increasing competition in the AI data center space, and you've got the hyperscalers involved, the legacy hyperscalers. What do you think differentiates CoreWeave from the other hyperscalers, and what ultimately is going to define who wins and who loses in this race?
So it's a question I get asked all the time. It's a great question, right? Ultimately, the way that we've built our business is we believe that there is a unique opportunity because the type of compute that's being consumed, the scale of the compute that's being consumed, the software that's required in order to make that compute in its most performant configuration available to clients. All of those things have come together. And when you look at the legacy hyperscalers, I think of them as like the minivan, right? It's a great vehicle. You can bring your kids to soccer. It's a great vehicle. You can move your roommate's couch across town. You can do whatever you want, right? And that's been a fantastic tool for the cloud as the cloud has been defined for the past 20 years, 30 years. Now we're entering this new era, and in this new era, a few computer scientists can come out of a grad school program and become some of the most significant consumers of this type of computational infrastructure in a matter of months. That's unique. That isn't what the cloud was initially built for. And so because we viewed the space that way, instead of building a minivan, we built a Ferrari, right? We built a machine that has been created, conceived, and built from the ground up to solve the problems that are very specific to this type of use case. And so we really believe that at the end of the day, and we believe that our clients believe at the end of the day, the product that we deliver to them is in fact more useful, more performant, and allows them to be able to deliver their products to their clients faster, better, more cost effective.
How do you see that competition evolving in the years ahead? Is there consolidation? Does there need to be consolidation? Who falls by the wayside?
So I kind of break the world into two pieces, right? I break the world into the legacy hyperscalers, three big ones, Oracle, and then I think about other emergent clouds. And when I think about the emergent clouds, I believe that there will be some consolidation. There will be some niche players that are effective in small parts of the market. What I think about for us as a company, I really think about the fact that in order for us to continue to establish this company as the AI hyperscaler, we need to be able to participate in this market at scale. And scale is defined by if a client needs 20,000 GPUs and somebody has 7,000 GPUs, they aren't a solution, right? We need to be able to meet our clients at the level with which they require compute to be delivered. We need to be able to meet our clients at the scale that's required for them to build and deliver and serve their models. And so there will be some consolidation, I would imagine. There is in every industry. But at the end of the day, for CoreWeave to continue to be as successful as it has been, we need to participate in this market with the best software, the best solutions, the best products, and we need to be able to do it at scale. All of that ultimately will precipitate down into what our cost of capital is as we build this massive infrastructure around the world. And I was saying to you before, is like I kind of think of it as I get graded every day. What's our cost of capital? That's a reflection of how the company is doing. And we are rapidly driving down the spread between our cost of capital and the cost of capital of the hyperscalers. We don't have to get to the same level as the hyperscalers. All we need to do is compress that spread enough that we can compete with them on product, on the quality of our infrastructure. And that's really how I see the space evolving over time.
And that need to scale has brought you to Europe, and you're investing in data centers, not just in the UK, but in Spain, Sweden, Norway. What are the biggest challenges? What are the biggest differences between building out data centers in the UK and Europe versus the US? There was a case in 2023 of a data center planned for just outside of Oxford, and the Secretary of State for Housing nixed it because essentially it didn't look very nice. What, in terms of planning, in terms of regulation, how much support are you getting from different governments? How does it compare to the US?
So we're learning about this as we go, right? Like, we've got a team that we're building here that's going to help us drive the CoreWeave solution into the European markets. That team is out there. We're building data centers in the UK, we're building in Spain, we're building up in the Nordics. We'll have 5 data centers at minimum by the end of 2025. There is a plan here. The degree to which the governments will be supportive to us, the challenges that are implicit in participating in the European theater, the national level issues, all of that stuff is stuff that we are learning every day. Whereas we've got a number of years behind us in the US, we have a pretty good idea of how that stuff unfolds. And so I think there's a lot that can be done to make the rollout of this technology easier and more effective, faster, allowing different jurisdictions to kind of take a leadership role. But we're going to need a few more months to really get our arms around exactly where every jurisdiction is.
On the question of energy, and you have a background in energy,
yep.
Mark Zuckerberg said recently he thought one of the biggest potential roadblocks to hyperscaling and to scaling AI data centers is access to energy and the ability for utility companies to build at scale as well. Do you agree? And what are you doing to mitigate that challenge?
So this goes back to an earlier question you asked, which is like, do I want the people or do I want the GPUs, right? Like, in order to deliver our solution, you have to deliver it in a comprehensive package, right? You can't deliver part of the solution, it doesn't work. So when I look at our roadmap, where we're going to scale and how we're going to scale, obviously power is one of the real challenges. So yes, I do agree that with Mark Zuckerberg that is going to be a limiting factor. I believe the U.S. grid probably has more elasticity than most people realize, but we will eat through that pretty quickly, and then we're going to be in a really tough spot because deploying new power infrastructure is not easy. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time. The other thing about power that can't be missed is that, like, power is not just power, right? Like, these are incredibly dense consumers of electricity, and a lot of time and thought needs to be kind of dedicated to the environmental impact of these massive consumers of power. And so it's not just getting access to the electricity, it's getting access to the right electricity. It's building the infrastructure around renewables in order to make them as effective as you can at standing out a consumer of power that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, cannot come offline. And so it's a significant challenge. It's a challenge that I think the space, not just us, but the space at large is focused on. That's going to be a necessary component of anyone's scaling.
I think we have about 1 minute left, so I'll leave it on this one. What is your expectation, your view, as to the dominance that NVIDIA will continue to play around GPUs? What are you hearing from your clients? Do AMD, do Intel, do they have a realistic opportunity? Or indeed Meta, Microsoft, do they have a realistic opportunity of closing that gap?
It's a good question. I think that the world hates a monopoly, right? However, we're in a period right now where there is a land grab that's occurring for mind space. When we think of artificial intelligence, we think of OpenAI, we think of ChatGPT. It's like the Frisbee or the M&M, right? Like it's a way of defining the way that people understand what AI is and where it comes from. And so when people are rushing in to get their hands on this infrastructure, when they're rushing in to try and build their products and deliver them to the market, they're going to take the product that's available and fastest for them to get their products to the market. So it's a tough road for some of the other silicon providers. But there is a significant and building amount of interest in ensuring that there's more than one solution out there. Training, I think NVIDIA is in a great place. As we move into inference, I think there'll be more opportunities for other silicon to maybe get some traction.
Okay, Mike, got to wrap it up there. Fascinating. Thank you very much indeed. Co-founder, CEO of CoreWeave. the Ferrari of AI data centers. Thanks, Mike.